Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report, the final Railsplitter Athletics Report of January 2015. Big week here in Lincoln Memorial University Athletics. LMU baseball team getting cranked up this coming weekend with their annual series with USC Aiken. That's going to be coming up down in Aiken, South Carolina. LMU men's and women's basketball team still in the thick of the South Atlantic Conference race. Railsplitters in command right now with a 5-game lead on the rest of the pack in the league, but the women right now in the 5 spot, slowly moving their way up the ladder. They're battling for that 4 position right now, and we'd love to see them get into that spot as the upcoming SAC tournament is just a few weeks away, and certainly we'd like to have that first round game, the quarterfinals at home in the Tex Turner Arena. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. There's some other spring sports getting cranked up here in the next week or so we'll tell you a little bit about that later on in the show. Our first guest tonight is Josh Schertz, and we'll talk about the Railsplitters' 19-0 mark and about their national ranking, as well as the week ahead in Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball. Coming up next here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
We have a big problem, and we need your help.
It's happening on college campuses, at bars, at parties, even in high schools.
It's happening to our sisters and our daughters,
our wives and our friends.
It's called sexual assault, and it has to stop.
We have to stop it. So listen up.
If she doesn't consent, or if she can't consent, it's rape, it's assault.
It's a crime. It's wrong.
If I saw it happening and I was taught you have to do something about it.
If I saw it happening, I speak up.
If I saw it happening, I'd never blame her. I'd help her.
Because I don't want to be a part of the problem.
I want to be a part of the solution.
We need all of you to be part of the solution. This is about respect. It's about responsibility.
It's up to all of us to put an end to sexual assault. And that starts with you.
Because one is too many.
Hey everybody! Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile. Dang it.
To the invisible jet.
Dang it.
Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Yeah! Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the 1st of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Josh Schertz and the 2014-15 Railsplitters are now 19-0 as they begin the month of February. They've got 1 game remaining in January. That, of course, this weekend on the road in Hartsville, South Carolina against the Cobras from Coker College. Coach, 19-0. It's been, just an unbelievable start this year again. But I want to go to something before we talk about the season that this team is just now only starting to receive, and that's they're finally starting to get the media attention that they deserve. I know that in this week's game at home, when we were in the Tex Turner Arena on Wednesday night, I saw a couple of the Knoxville stations, VLT, I think YMT out of Kentucky was there, but for the first time that I can ever remember, news footage was on all 4 stations, the 3 in Knoxville and the 1 in Kentucky to cover the Railsplitters.
Well, it was obviously terrific to see them get some media attention, and certainly yourself and Kate Reagan and the Sports Information Department, have done a good job getting the word out, and Kate's kind of spearheaded that deal, and it is something that you want to see guys recognized for their hard work. You want to see guys recognized for the success they've had, and certainly being up here and being kind of a little bit isolated from there's big media markets and there are major media markets, there's small media markets, and there's no media market, and we kind of fall in the latter category. So, it's nice for Knoxville to come up and certainly shine a spotlight on some of these kids that have worked very hard and had an unbelievable amount of success, not just this year, but over the years.
Without a doubt, and I do want to point out that Kate Reagan is the spearhead of the attack to get that media coverage, but without all that the LMU Sports Network crew does to get that footage recorded, uploaded, and to those networks. In many cases, it wouldn't happen. So again, thanks to Kate Reagan and to their efforts. I really had very little to do with it. Coach, let's talk about the last week. Of course, you've picked up another couple of wins, both of them in conference play. You know, it's been a good week. Again, we had one game in which we played well enough to win, but I thought we played exceptional on Wednesday night in that effort.
Yeah, we were. I thought Brevard. I was incredibly proud of our team, and just the amount of. It's very hard to go out and execute as well as they did, particularly defensively against the Princeton offense when you have basically 2 days preparation. And credit to our guys, because I thought before the game it would kind of challenge how solid, how disciplined, how smart we were defensively, and guys passed that with flying colors. And also got to give credit, where it's due. Our scout team guys, I mentioned on the air, we were fortunate, our GAs, Jeremiah Samarippis, Omar Watad, both played in Princeton offenses in college, knew it inside out. The scout team guys did a great job. Davis Fisher joined in with them, and so we were able to get a really good simulation in practice, and I think have some ideas, and did a much better job than I probably would have even imagined going into the game to hold them to 49 points. The way they've been carving people up was extremely impressive, and very proud of how they played on Wednesday night.
We're watching some footage from the Wednesday night game against the Tornadoes. Coach, I got to say, how good's that logo look on the floor right now?
Oh, it looks great. The floor, what an upgrade. I mean, floor was good before, but with the new floor and the new logo, and just pops out at you, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Railsplitters now 19-0. It's, to my knowledge, the second best start in school history, second only to a start you had only a couple years ago at 22-0, but still so much basketball left to be played. You got 9 games remaining. A handful of those are at home, but you've got a tough road game this coming weekend with Coker's Cobras, and of course Dan Schmatzer has had his club really playing well lately.
They are. They're playing unbelievably well. Took care of Newberry and Wingate, I think, their last 2 games. Playing at a high level. They're right now in a position to have a home game for the first round of the conference tournament. Coach Schmatzer's teams are always very physical, very tough, very aggressive. We played them here in December, and it was as you remember, a very tough, very physical game here. We've played them 3 times now, and you leave that game kind of limping out of there because they bring it, and they. The first time I thought really whipped us on the backboards. We beat them overall, but they got 18 offensive rebounds. I thought they were the more physical, more aggressive team. We've got to certainly look at some things and certainly from that standpoint match their physicality, match their aggressiveness, and certainly they have the brand new arena on their home floor. Us coming in should be a great atmosphere Saturday afternoon.
When you look at your team, you can make the argument that yeah, we're a much better team than we were back in December, but you also have to look at Coker and say that they're much better than they were then.
Yeah, you would assume. I mean, I think we've made strides in December, since December to this point, and I'm sure they have as well. And that's, why we always tell our guys, it's all about getting better because other teams are improving. You got to go into work every day and improve what you're doing. And we'll get tested for sure on Saturday against a very good, very well coached team that really has a couple plays away from being in sole possession of second in the league. They've lost a couple tough ones, but like I said, they're in position to have a home game right now. And for both teams, there's an incredibly long way to play. I think we're still have about 40% of the conference season ahead of us, so it's amazing to think as much as we played, but we still got 9 conference games remaining.
Every game that's played, every win that's put in the book, the anticipation builds. I probably fielded comments a little bit earlier than you did because there were those that were probably afraid to come to you about the possibilities for postseason accolades. Yet it continues to build. It's something that has been added to your plate that you have to deal with. You're trying to keep your team focused. You're trying to win games and to conduct practices, et cetera, and at the same time juggle some recruiting in there somewhere. How do you keep these young men that you have on this team focused? I know they're thinking about it in the back of their minds, but you got to pull them together for that 40-minute period at the very least, not including practices, to get them focused to win the game.
No, I think that's the hardest thing. You know, you have to block all that stuff out. It's great for fans and for other people to speculate and you know, well, this happens, that happens. Well, what would then happen? And for us, you know, I always go back to the same thing. I think you have to focus on your preparation, your practice, and then your performance between the lines. And if you play well enough between the lines and perform well enough between the lines, you know, you'll earn whatever's out there for you based on your talent. And so to worry about things that are happening in the future, you know, what's going to happen in March, makes no sense right now. We got a long way to go to get there, to relive and live in the past is what we've done to get to 19-0. That makes no sense either. So it's about being in the moment and certainly being focused on the task at hand and putting all our energy into preparing to play our best against Coker. It's going to take our best effort between the lines for 2 hours on Saturday to have a chance to come up and be successful.
No doubt about that. We got a couple of minutes left in this segment, Coach. The game on Coker, against Coker, hard enough on the road. They're a team that gave us a good fight here in Harrogate many weeks ago. But you're going to back that up on Wednesday. That's going to be over in Jefferson City. Or actually, that'll be here in Harrogate, beg your pardon. A very emotional game whenever Carson Newman and LMU face off. So that's the hype game that everybody likes to build up.
And then you go to Newberry from there. So, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, it's great for people outside to get caught up in this and are we going to host or whatever the conference race. For us, you know, it's all very fragile. You get ahead of yourself and start thinking about things that have no relation to just doing your job, and that's how you kind of stub your toe. So, you know, we got to go to play a very good Coker team, come back. Carson Newman's playing very well. They're 7-6 in the league. They're tied with Coker for 4th. They're definitely on an uptick, and then Newberry's in 2nd place in the league. We got to go there, and that's arguably along with Holt Fieldhouse, the 2 toughest environments in the South Atlantic Conference to play in for us. So there's a lot of very difficult, very challenging games ahead. We've got a lot of work to do to continue to improve and put ourselves, like we talked about last night, you know, we're in a favorable position. We've got a lot of work to do between now and March to continue to be in that type of position, and it can all go away quickly, particularly if we live in the future or in the past.
I got to say, Coach, as we close in on the end of the segment here, that while we still have to take care of business on Saturday down there at Coker, it's ridiculous to think that we'll have 8 regular season games left and we still haven't played Carson Newman even once.
Yeah, the unbalanced schedule, how they do that, I don't know. I think next year we play Carson Newman November 19th. So it flips the first game of the conference play. So, you know, they I guess have a reason for it. I don't know the reason, but I'm sure they have their reasonings for how they schedule.
Well, Coach, we as always wish you the best of luck Saturday against Dan Schmatzer and the Cobras down there in Hartsville, South Carolina. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, folks, for those of us up here at the other end of the league, other end of the planet, as I like to call it. Yeah. But it'll be a tough game. We'll have all the commentary will be right there with you. And we look forward to talking with you in that post-game, or pre-game rather, on Saturday prior to the tip-off.
Sounds good, Russ. See you then.
All right. Josh Schertz and the Railsplitters tip-off at 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon in Hartsville, South Carolina. Pre-game coverage will follow Lady Railsplitter wrap-up. We'll be talking with Crystal Evans, win or lose, against when she plays the Cobras on Saturday. That tip-off slated for a 2 o'clock start, pre-game coverage at 1:40 on the LMU Sports Network. And we certainly hope that you'll join us through our flagship radio station, WLMU 91.3, or on the World Wide Web at 913thegap.com. We're back right after this.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet. Shoebox under the bed.
Where anyone can get to it.
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
You can be a hero by being prepared for an emergency. First, make a plan. Call a family meeting to plan for things like how to connect with loved ones after an emergency.
There.
Or your escape route.
I am not fast.
Build a kit. When disaster strikes, it's important to have enough supplies to last 3 days. And don't forget the batteries.
Low battery.
Number 3, know the facts. From blackouts to floods, no matter the emergency, the more you know about it, the better you can deal with it.
You're gonna need some upgrades.
Number 4, get involved. Lend a hand in your community to help others know their role in an emergency.
You guys, do you feel this? We're gonna be heroes!
You can be a hero by being prepared.
Yes!
Visit ready.gov/kids for more preparedness tips.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Coach Crystal Evans not able to join us today, but we're privileged to have her assistant, Brooke Wilkinson, in here. It's been some time since we talked to you, Coach, but again, we're glad to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's talk basketball. You know, this is, well, first of all, I started with a little prelude to the basketball with Coach Schertz. You might know more people in the South Atlantic Conference than anybody that I've ever met before. How is that possible?
Well, I used to be in the South Atlantic Conference, so, I mean, it's definitely gotten bigger. There's more teams, but, I mean, I've spent 4 years there.
I was joking with her before we came back to camera that I thought we were having some technical difficulties. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I was joking with her that she was on the Players Club tour. Seems like every road game that we go to, there's nobody that doesn't know her. So certainly it's kind of amusing when I'm sitting over there on the sidelines getting ready for the game. Coach, you've now won 4 of your last 5, and you know it's just remarkable to think that this team has been able to accomplish what it has over the last 5 games with the influx of players going in and out of the lineup due to injury. I was surprised on Wednesday evening. I knew that there was a possibility Asia Lee would still be out of the lineup, but lo and behold, I look over there and Ashley Pritchett's out of the game as well. Yeah,
we have had them dropping like flies, I say. But we've definitely had a lot of people step up, which is good. Like Ross had a great game last night, and so did Brittany Guy came in and started and played well. So they definitely came in and brought a spark to the game. Ross Mathis, young lady we selected, our Old Town Grill player of the game. She's definitely got the shooter's mentality. There's no doubt about that. But as I jokingly said with Coach Evans in the postgame, it seemed like the further back off the perimeter she got, the more deadly she was. I mean, she was hitting them from way deep. She definitely can shoot. She scored 1,700 points or more in high school, and she shot those type of threes throughout her whole high school career. So she has the confidence, which was good because we needed that late 3 in the game to kind of seal the deal for us. I know that Coach Evans referred to her as Little Ross, but it seems like when she fires that 3, regardless of the range, that she puts her entire body into the shot, and it's just remarkable that she can hit them with that kind of accuracy from way out there like that. Yeah, she does. She puts her time in the gym and works hard, though. Like, I think she put in about 50 shots before the game, 3-point range, and was stepping back off the line. So she definitely puts the practice in. You were talking last night with our public address announcer when I went out of the arena for a moment in between games, and I told you that I felt like that particular game, I saw more heart in that game than I've seen all season long. Not taking anything away from the team. I just thought that the 9 players that we had dressed out on Wednesday against Brevard really showed a lot of heart in that effort. They did, which was good because that's what we needed. You know, we're a team that we've fought through a lot of difficulties this year, and the 9 players that did dress out last night, they knew they had to bring something to the table, and each and every one of them did. Of course, the bench went all the way down to the end, if you will. That's kind of an odd statement, but Lakeisha Beasley, who you just saw there, didn't really play a big role in terms of offense, but she gave some quality minutes, banged around in the paint quite a bit. I thought you got great minutes from Brittany Guy, especially from an offensive standpoint in the first half. Of course, Ross Mathis, who we've also mentioned, but you can't really leave anybody out in that scenario because there were just so many great efforts in that contest. Even Shay Coker came in, and she's actually stepped up to the plate here lately because we've had some guards go down. Katrina, for example, went down, and she stepped up a couple games ago and had a big game for us. So definitely you need that, and I'm glad that the freshmen have the guts to come in and play big minutes for us. Yeah, I think Shay Coker's not flying under anybody's radar anymore. They know that if she gets an open look on the perimeter, she is a legitimate threat. And as I said with Coach Evans in the postgame as well, you know, while we may not use that perimeter game every game, depending on our personnel, as much as we did on Wednesday, if you're an opponent, you have to respect that the fact that we have that scoring ability out there. Yes, definitely. And with Brevard, they were playing 5 out, so we were trying to match them defensively. So we had to put more guards out there, which allowed us to spread our offense out, which we're usually a power team. We put it inside. We definitely have done that throughout the whole entire season. So when we put Shay at the 4, for example, as a post player, and move Megan to the 5, who typically plays the 4 spot, it definitely allows us more ability to shoot the 3. And obviously, we lived and died by that last night. And luckily, we came up on the good end of it.
We'll take a little luck any day, good or bad. But, you know, you've won 4 out of the last 5. You've now got 9 games remaining regular season, just as the men do. We also are on the road this weekend down at Coker in Hartsville, South Carolina. That said, through all of it, with all the injuries that we've had, and I looked on the bench last night, we had 5, maybe even 6 potential starters sitting over there at one time. Through all of it, you are still in the 5 spot, trying to move up into that 4 spot and legitimately have a chance at maybe even moving higher than that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we keep telling the team. Like, no matter what type of scenario that we're in, we need to continue to fight, because that 4th spot or that 3rd spot, the 2nd spot, 1st spot, obviously, we want that home game for the tournament.
Well, Wingate right now in the driver's seat, but there's still so much basketball to be played. They've still got to come to the Tex Turner, so anything could happen with 9 games left on the schedule. Now, you know, in terms of the injury status, we've known for some time that Stephanie Smith lost for the season, Samantha Satterley lost for the season. We're told there's a possibility maybe toward the end of regular season play that we could get Courtney Cox back in the lineup. Obviously, she may not be up to game speed, but, you know, she's got a lot of ability, so she'll adjust to it accordingly. Katrina Otteson, Asia Lee, I'm sure Ashley Pritchett, I'm not sure what her injury was or what the reason she was out. We expect to see them back a little sooner than that, though.
Yeah, Asia and Ashley were out just for the Wednesday game. They had a doctor's appointment missed around, so we just didn't feel confident enough to put them in and give them minutes. And we have players like Brittany Guy and Ross Mathis and Shay that are stepping up. So with Asia and Ross, they should be back on Saturday, definitely. Courtney Cox, we're hoping to be back for tournament time. She's still in a cast with her wrist scenario, so I mean that's kind of day-by-day scenario.
Now, unfortunately, when you win a game like that, you can't really rest on the laurels very long. I mean, you've got to prepare for the next game, and that's the same case for everybody in the South Atlantic Conference this time of year. You've got a Wednesday, Saturday format. That said, obviously now you're turning the focus towards Coker. What do we know about the Cobras from the last time we played them, from what they've done since then, and what we're going to have to do to come away with a win?
Coker is a dribble penetration team, and they like to kick out and shoot threes. When they came here in December, we definitely limited their three-point shots, and we stopped their penetration. So we're going to do the same game plan. They do a lot of 5-out, too, just like a lot of the people in our conference do. We're the bigger of the conference teams, I would say. So we're probably going to go a little smaller than normal again, and we're just hoping it plans out to be the right thing.
Coach Evans said in the post-game after Wednesday's win over Brevard that if you'd told her at the beginning of the season that we would be as perimeter-oriented as we are right now, that she looked at me like I was crazy. What's your take on that?
That's true. I would have never thought that I would look down at the stat sheet and we'd have shot over 20 threes in a game. There was points where we only shot 5 threes in a game earlier in the season. So it's definitely, I think it helps us, though, is bringing more confidence to our team. When you knock down three-point shots, it definitely gives you energy, I believe. But I was a three-point shooter, so obviously I'm going to say that.
To me, were you a three-point shooter or a three-point maker?
Both. Both.
Okay. To me, it's again remarkable that this team has been able to accomplish the record they have through all the injuries that they've sustained. And with that said, I mean, you found a way to win. If it were going the other way, if it had gone south, we had all the injuries and we were had a reverse record of 8-11 or whatever the record may be at this point. I think that probably the confidence, the attitude of the team would be much different. But I don't see an ounce of fight taken out of these girls.
No, I mean, we have one goal. I mean, we started with that goal with or without everybody on our team. So, and our goal is to win the conference tournament and the conference. And we definitely want to do postseason play. So we're going to go through that and play as hard as we can and try to get and be as good as we can get day in and day out.
Now, when you return from Coker, win or lose, you'll return to the Tex Turner Arena Wednesday night. You've got Carson Newman, a team that really led the SAC standings throughout much of the year until they were knocked off by, oddly enough, Brevard, a team which we defeated Wednesday night. I'm sure the girls see that. I'm sure the girls are hearing, well, that's our top rival. Obviously, that's one that's got to be in the coach's mind in preparation for them. They're
a tough team, yeah. I mean, but we're definitely going day by day. Just because that's just what we're telling the team. So everybody knows that Carson Newman and Lincoln Memorial are big rivals, and we have them at home first, so that's good because we usually play better at home. So we're definitely looking forward to that game, but we got to knock off Coker first. Well, Coach, we want to thank you for joining us here today, and I'm real anxious to see how many people you know down at Coker this coming Saturday. And of course, I might not know as much as Coker. They weren't in the league when I was there.
Coach, good luck Saturday. All right, thank you. All right, we're going to take another timeout. When we come back, we'll talk baseball and some other sports as spring sports get underway. This is the Railsplitter Sports Network.
At Citizens Bank, we're different from everyone else. We've proudly served business communities of Northeast Tennessee since 1912 and have security you can count on. We offer the convenience of internet banking, excellent loan services on various types of loans, cash management, and small business banking at all of our convenient locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, New Tazewell, Bean Station, and Morristown. Visit our website to find out more at citizensbanktn.com. Citizens Bank, no more banking as usual.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
From commercial to residential, from the basement to the attic, Knoxville Drywall can deliver full-service drywall, insulation, and paint contracting. Knoxville Drywall specializes in new and tenant build-outs, drywall repair, drywall grids, metal stud framing, acoustical ceilings, suspended drywall ceilings, and ceiling and wall texturing and painting. Knoxville Drywall also provides wall-blown insulation for existing walls, attic-blown insulation, wall and ceiling batts insulation, and crawlspace insulation. Knoxville Drywall Incorporated, serving Knoxville and the surrounding area for more than 56 years with outstanding quality and competitive pricing.
Whether institutional case good or architectural woodwork, Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street Northeast, Knoxville.
Thanks to my guest, Josh Schertz, and of course, Brooke Wilkinson for joining us on the show tonight. Again, the Lady Railsplitters tip off at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Railsplitters at 4, pregame coverage for the afternoon begins at 1:40. Then they will return Wednesday night to the Tex Turner Arena to face Carson Newman. Now, for those of you wanting to come to that game, and we'd love to have each and every one of you, you can get free tickets at all DeRoyal locations in New Tazewell, Powell, up in Rose Hill, down in La Follette, all of those locations, free tickets available. They are the game sponsor for the night, so we certainly hope that you'll visit those locations and grab yourself a few tickets, bring your family if you can, and support the LMU basketball teams. Jeff Sixai and the Railsplitter baseball team getting the 2015 spring schedule cranked up this weekend down in Aiken, South Carolina. It's the earliest that I can ever remember an LMU baseball series beginning, and that's because of some rule changes with the NCAA. They were allowed to move that series up a little bit. It's a 3-game set, and of course the Railsplitters and Pacers have had that season opening series for probably better than a decade now. So we want to wish Coach Sixai and his 2015 Railsplitters the best of luck this weekend as they open regular season play. Folks, to keep up to date on all that's going on with Lincoln Memorial University Athletics, pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. Everything you want to know about Lincoln Memorial University athletics and, of course, the university itself right there at your fingertips. It's a click of a mouse away, and I think you'll find a lot that you really, really enjoy. That's all the time we have for tonight. Until next week, I'm Rusty Peace. For everybody behind the scenes, thanks for watching.